There is a rectangle in your pocket right now that has beaten everything. It beat the camera. It beat the map, the calendar, the newspaper, the television. For almost 20 years, every company that tried to build something better ended up building an accessory to it instead. And then, quietly, with almost no one paying attention, something started to win. Last year, a single company sold roughly 7.5 million pairs of AI glasses. Not prototypes, not developer kits. Glasses people bought, wore to dinner, and forgot they were wearing. Here's the statistic that should stop you. Inside that same company, those glasses now bring in more revenue than their virtual reality headsets do. The future everyone spent a decade arguing about. The goggles, the metaverse, the headset strapped to your skull, lost. And something that looks like a pair of sunglasses won. So this video has one question, and I'm going to answer it honestly by the end. Could a pair of glasses actually replace the most successful product in human history? And if so, when? The answer is more surprising than a simple yes or no. The smartphone won because it collapsed the world into one pane of glass. Everything you needed in one place, always with you. That is an extraordinarily difficult thing to compete with, and for years nobody could. Google tried in 2013. Google Glass became a punchline so severe it produced its own insult, glass hole, and the product was pulled from consumers within 2 years. So what actually changed between then and now? Two things, and the timing is not a coincidence. The first is that we started to resent the glass. Pulling the phone out means the head goes down, the eyes go away, and the person in front of you disappears. People began to want less of that, not more. But the second change is the one that matters. For decades, the dream of computerized glasses ran into a wall. To be genuinely useful, glasses have to understand the world around you. And understanding the world requires intelligence. Then, almost overnight, intelligence became something you could buy by the gigabyte. Here's the insight that separates 2026 from 2013. And it's the opposite of what most people assume. Google Glass tried to put a screen on your face. The new generation mostly doesn't. Think about the difference. A phone is a device you consult. You stop walking, look down, unlock, type your question, wait. Glasses are a device that is simply already there, looking at the same street sign you're looking at, hearing the same conversation, watching the same broken faucet under your sink. You don't have to describe your problem to it. It's already staring at your problem. That's the leap. Not a smaller screen. Often no screen at all. Which is why the best-selling AI glasses on Earth have no display whatsoever. Cameras, microphones, speakers hidden in the arms, and an AI assistant. That's the entire product. Analysts call this category displayless glasses, and according to IDC, it is now the fastest-growing corner of the entire wearable market, growing over 160% year-over-year in the first quarter of 2026 alone. So, are we closer to an answer? Not yet. Because a fast-growing category is not the same as a replacement. To know that, we have to look at what these things actually do. Let's be precise, because this is exactly where the hype usually starts. Meta's Ray-Ban glasses dominate. In 2025, the company shipped roughly 7.5 million pairs, a jump of nearly 300% in 1 year. Its market share sits somewhere between about 70 and 84%, depending on which analyst firm you ask. The trackers genuinely disagree, and I'd rather tell you that than pick the number that sounds better. Either way, every other company on the planet is fighting over the remainder. In June 2026, Meta launched a new line starting at $299, with prescription models around $499 and a version with a small in-lens display costing more. Pay attention to those prices. That is what people already pay for designer eyewear. The technology stopped asking to be a gadget and started asking to be glasses. Now, what do they actually do? They shoot photos and video from your point of view. They play audio without covering your ears. Meta's software now handles live translation across roughly 20 languages. You can look at a thing and simply ask what it is. And here is what they do not do. They don't run apps. They don't let you type. They don't show you a web page. Your bank, your work email, your group chat, none of that lives here. So on today's evidence, the answer to our question is a flat no. Glasses cannot replace your phone. Not this year. But hold on. Because the interesting part is that they don't need to. Watch what happens in the moments where the phone was never the right tool. A traveler stands in a city where she can't read a single sign. The old way: stop, unlock, open the camera, aim, wait, read. The new way: look and listen. The conversation just continues. Someone is cooking, hands buried in flour, and needs the next step, without touching anything. A person who is deaf or hard of hearing watches live captions of a conversation appear in their field of view. That is not a party trick. That is one of the most genuinely important applications of this entire technology, and it gets a fraction of the attention it deserves. A cyclist gets directions without ever looking away from the road. Do you see the pattern? Every one of those is a moment where looking down was the problem. Glasses aren't attacking the phone head-on. They're taking the moments the phone was always bad at. And that reframes our question entirely. The threat was never replacement. It's displacement. And displacement starts by making you reach into your pocket a little less each week. But before you go and cancel your phone contract, there are 3 walls standing in the way. They're real, and at least one of them is made of physics. Wall 1, the battery. Glasses must be light enough to sit on your nose all day, which means the battery must be tiny. Manufacturers advertise around 6 hours of mixed use. In independent testing, one reviewer watched a display model fall to 40% charge after roughly 90 minutes of real use. Across the category, honest figures land somewhere between 4 and 8 hours, and far less when you're actually using the features you bought them for. Cameras, displays, and always listening AI are enormously power-hungry, and no software update can rewrite how much energy a chip needs. Wall 2, input. Ask yourself how you would write a long email on a pair of glasses, or scroll a feed, or edit a photo. Voice is wonderful for a question, and miserable for a paragraph. Nobody, not Meta, not Google, not Apple, has solved text input on your face. Until someone does, glasses physically cannot swallow the phone whole. Wall 3, the one that never fully goes away. The better these glasses get at looking like ordinary glasses, the sharper the privacy problem becomes. A camera you can see is a camera people can consent to. A camera indistinguishable from a normal pair of Ray-Bans is something else entirely. Privacy researchers have warned that as these devices get cheap and common, persistent recording in public stops being hypothetical. This may be the quiet ceiling on the whole category, not whether people buy them, but whether people feel comfortable wearing them. And yet, the race is only just beginning. Because in the next 18 months, Meta stops being alone. At Google I/O in May 2026, Google and Samsung previewed their first Android XR glasses, with Gemini built in. According to Google's own announcements, the audio-first glasses arrive in fall 2026, with display versions following in 2027. Samsung is building the hardware. Qualcomm is making the chip. And the frames are being designed by Warby Parker and Gentle Monster, which tells you precisely how this industry now thinks about the product. Not as electronics, as eyewear. One detail from that announcement got buried, and it's the most revealing thing in this entire video. Google's glasses are designed to work with iPhones too. Which raises the obvious question, where is Apple? Behind. According to Bloomberg's reporting, Apple has pushed its first AI glasses from early 2027 to late 2027. For the company that defines the modern smartphone, arriving a full year after Google is an uncomfortable place to stand. Meanwhile, Snap has spun off a separate company for its AR glasses. Reuters reports that Gucci's parent company is preparing luxury Android XR frames for 2027, and OpenAI is reportedly building hardware of its own. That is not a gadget category. That is an entire industry quietly repositioning around the possibility that the next computer is worn, not held. So let's put honest dates on the answer. Today, glasses are a companion, not a replacement. Audio, capture, translation, questions. They lean on your phone, and they run out of battery before your day does. The next 2 years. The field crowds. Google and Samsung ship this fall. Apple arrives late 2027. Displays go from novelty to normal. IDC forecasts the displayless category reaching roughly 13.6 million units in 2026. Glasses stop being a meta product and start being a market. The next 5 years. Here, replacement becomes plausible. For some people. IDC projects the category climbing toward 27 million units a year by 2030. Battery roadmaps suggest solid-state cells could bring all-day use within reach near the end of the decade, though I want to be clear that is a projection, not a shipping product. If on-device AI keeps improving, glasses stop borrowing your phone's brain and start carrying their own. 2030 and beyond. Honestly, forecasts diverge, and anyone who tells you they know is selling something. Some analysts believe glasses could absorb the large majority of what you do on a phone today. Others think the phone simply retreats into your pocket, still doing the heavy lifting, just never taken out. So, could AI glasses realistically replace the smartphone? And when? Here is the honest answer. Not yet. And, for most people, not completely. Not while the battery dies in 4 hours, and there is no way to write a sentence. But that was always the wrong question. Because the smartphone didn't kill the camera, the map, and the music player by being better at any one of them. It killed them by being there. Always, effortlessly, first. And that is exactly what glasses are now doing to the phone. Taking the translation, taking the directions, taking the question, the photo, the moment. Not the whole device, just every reason you had to pull it out. The rectangle isn't dead, but for the first time in 20 years, it is no longer inevitable. And the strange thing about being replaced is that it almost never feels like a battle. It feels like forgetting. You just stop reaching. Subscribe to Auravox AI for more videos about artificial intelligence, robotics, automation, and future technology. Click below to continue exploring the AI technologies shaping tomorrow. If you want to see more videos like this, like this video and share it with someone who's curious about the future. Don't chase the future. Own it.